mynews.studio.
Picture this. A family of elephants makes its way past a live camera in Kenya. Could simply watching them have an impact on our well-being or maybe even influence the future of the planet?
It's June 12th, 2025. Let's start at the beginning. Nature live streams have really taken off lately. We're talking about real-time footage of wild spaces, animals, even weather. And it's available to anyone, anywhere, as long as they have internet. Why do you think this trend has become so widespread?
Access is a big part of it. Most of us, especially those living in cities or who have trouble getting around, don't have the chance to visit remote places. But with platforms like explore.org or YouTube Live, you can watch eagles hatch in Alaska or hippos swimming in Africa any time of day. The audiences are huge, sometimes in the millions. Have you ever tuned in to any of these streams yourself?
I have, actually. There's something surprisingly calming about just watching a forest scene or seeing a bear fishing in real time. But is it just a nice distraction, or is there actual scientific benefit?
There's good evidence for real benefits. Studies show that watching live nature streams can lower stress, improve mood, and even help people sleep better. Of course, it's not identical to being outside, but for many, it's the next best thing. Researchers have measured drops in anxiety and more positive emotions after just a few minutes of watching.
So it's not only about feeling better, there are measurable impacts on mental health. But I'm wondering, how does this kind of virtual experience compare to actually being out in nature, like walking in a park or hiking?
Being outdoors usually gives a bigger physical boost. Think clearer focus, lower blood pressure, better attention. But not everyone can step outside so easily. That's where live streams come in. They're more accessible. They act like a bridge, still helping with mood and attention, especially for people who have to stay indoors.
That makes me wonder, are viewers just passive? Or do these streams actually lead people to care more about the environment?
Actually, that's a key point. When people can watch wildlife up close, even virtually, they often develop an emotional connection to species and places they'd never otherwise encounter. There's real evidence that viewers go on to donate, support conservation, or advocate for policies. For instance, explore.org channels donations from its viewers straight to wildlife protection programs.
So it's not just about personal well-being. It can help build a much larger movement, more people who are aware and engaged. Are platforms like YouTube or even TikTok getting involved as well?
Yes, both YouTube Live and TikTok Live are stepping up their nature content. The interest is clearly there, and so is the opportunity for broader impact on mental health and on conservation efforts. It fits into a wider trend where digital tools are being used for wellness. Think meditation apps and now live nature streams.
Is there any concern that watching these streams might replace real-world experiences? Or does it actually encourage people to go outside more?
The findings are mixed. For some, live streams are a substitute. For others, they inspire curiosity and lead to real-world exploration. But for city dwellers or those with limited mobility, they're a valuable alternative. The bigger question now is making sure everyone has access to these digital experiences.
Looking ahead, do you see these streams having a direct effect on policies, or is their impact mostly indirect?
Their influence is mostly indirect, but it's significant. As more people form emotional connections with faraway ecosystems, there's greater public support for conservation. That can put pressure on policymakers, even though the streams themselves aren't campaigning. The intersection of technology, mental health, and environmental awareness will keep growing as more people get online.
So in short, live streams of nature can benefit mental health, raise environmental awareness, and even support real conservation work. They're a response to urban life and a new tool for digital well-being. The challenge is making them accessible and turning that shared awareness into action to protect nature.
And it really just starts with a single click. Watching a bear, an eagle, or a thunderstorm, and maybe seeing things in a new way. Thanks for listening in today.
Thank you for joining us. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.